Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at a situation that is, well, it's an unfolding tragedy in India's Tiruvallur district.
Right, specifically in a village called Karalampakkam.
Exactly. And the sources we're drawing from are urgent, they're direct, and frankly, they're heartbreaking. We're going to focus on the human cost here and what happens when basic infrastructure fails.
That's really the core of it. We're trying to understand the reports coming out of this community, which is just reeling from this public health crisis.
So our mission for this deep dive is to piece together what happened, the alleged contamination, who it's affecting, and the public anger that's followed.
Yeah, this goes way beyond just a broken pipe. It's about a breakdown in, basic public trust.
And at the center of it all is a devastating allegation. Residents are saying very clearly that the water they were given to drink, their drinking water, was contaminated with sewage.
And that this contamination is directly responsible for people dying.
A lethal failure.
Yeah.
It's the single most critical accusation, isn't it? The idea that the water provided by the local government could be the cause of death.
It is. It makes this a crisis of governance just as much as it is a public health emergency.
Okay, let's unpack this. Let's start with the location itself. Karalampakkam village near Pallipet.
This is in the Tiruvallur district, and you have to understand this is a community of over 200 families.
And they all rely on one water system.
A single pipeline. It's managed by the local panchyat administration, the village council. That's supposed to be their guaranteed source of clean, safe water.
And that system, which is supposed to sustain life, has allegedly delivered poison.
That's what the residents are claiming. And the immediate result, the thing that kicked all this off, was 2 deaths in a very, very short period of time.
Let's talk about the victims. Who are the people whose deaths sparked this crisis?
Our sources named 2. The first is a man named Buckham. He was 55 years old.
Okay.
And the second is a woman, Sutha. She was only 30.
30 years old. And what's really terrifying here is the timeline, right?
The timeline is key. One death happened yesterday, and Sutha, she passed away today. It's that rapid succession that tells you whatever is in the water is aggressive. It's virulent.
And the symptoms, they seem to confirm that. We're reading about severe vomiting and debilitating diarrhea.
Classic signs. I mean, those are aggressive symptoms of an acute gastrointestinal infection, something that can cause life-threatening dehydration in just a matter of hours.
Right. So when you see a cluster of symptoms like that appearing so quickly,
it points directly to a pathogen, to bacteria or a virus in a common source. And that's where the residents' main charge comes in. They're saying the water was mixed with wastewater, with sewage.
because of a faulty pipeline.
Exactly. A break, a leak, some kind of structural failure that allowed sewage to seep into the drinking water supply. That's the critical breakdown here.
And that transforms it. It's no longer just a maintenance issue. It's a lethal public safety crisis. And the responsibility falls, squarely on the local administration.
And it goes beyond those 2 tragic deaths. If you look at the broader picture, the crisis is still unfolding. It's much bigger.
Right, because it's not just the fatalities. Horrific as they are, how many other people are sick right now?
The reports say over 10 people are seeking urgent medical care. Many of them had to be taken to the government hospital in the next district over, in Ranipet.
So the local facilities were overwhelmed.
Either overwhelmed or the cases were just too severe. It suggests they needed a higher level of care immediately.
And this is where it gets even more alarming. These kinds of illnesses, they always hit the most vulnerable people the hardest.
Yes, and the sources are very specific about this. They mention that children are among the hospitalized. And it gets worse. The reports say 2 young girls are in a condition described as critical.
Critical condition.
Which just confirms the immediate life-threatening danger this poses to the youngest members of that community. For an infant or a small child, that kind of dehydration can be fatal so much faster.
That just elevates this completely. It moves it from a tragedy to, a profound moral failure for whoever was supposed to be maintaining that pipeline.
It does.
So what about the administrative response? Did officials show up once people started dying?
They did. Officials, including the Tahsildar, that's the district administrative officer, they came to the village. They did the first thing you're supposed to do.
Which is what? Take water samples?
Right. Take samples for testing, to confirm the contamination, a necessary bureaucratic first step.
But then, according to the sources, they just left.
What was the perception gap there?
It was huge. For the officials, the priority was gathering evidence. For the community who is watching their children get rushed to the hospital, their priority is survival. It's intervention.
So a visit that doesn't include immediate aid, like bringing in water tankers or starting to fix the pipe.
It's seen as callous, as a failure of leadership. They would sample, but they didn't address the immediate life or death need right in front of them. And that's the friction point, isn't it? That gap between acknowledging a problem and actually doing something about it. That's what so often leads to protest.
Absolutely. The community's reaction was immediate and it was furious. They moved from grief to confrontation.
What did that confrontation look like?
A major act of civil disobedience. Over 100 residents organized a road blockade. This wasn't just a few angry people. This was a significant portion of the community.
And they were strategic about it.
Yeah.
They didn't just stand outside a local office.
No, they chose a location for maximum impact. They blocked the Ranapet-Palipatu State Highway.
A state highway. That's a big deal.
It's a very big deal. It escalates the problem beyond the village. It forces regional and state authorities to pay attention. You can ignore a small protest, but you can't ignore a major traffic artery being shut down.
So it caused, what, chaos in the area?
Significant chaos, yeah, and tension. But it achieved what they wanted. Visibility, leverage. They were basically using inconvenience as a weapon to demand accountability.
So what's the core demand? What's the one thing they're trying to achieve with this?
It's focused. They want accountability from the Panchyat administration for the faulty pipeline. They want to know why it failed, who was supposed to be maintaining it, and they want to see consequences for the people whose failure led to these deaths.
It's a demand for justice for the victims.
And safety for the survivors, yes.
So where does that leave things right now? A highway can't stay blocked forever?
No, and the authorities are on the scene in force. The police are there, and they're in active negotiations with the protesters.
Trying to get them to clear the road.
Exactly, to disperse the crowd and restore traffic. But those negotiations are going to be difficult. The residents feel their demands haven't been met, and given the stakes, 2 people are dead, their resolve is incredibly strong.
So we've tracked this devastating sequence. A community reliant on one water source.
An alleged contamination of that source due to neglect.
Which leads to 2 deaths, multiple hospitalizations, children in critical condition.
And culminates in a massive highway blockade demanding justice. It's a powerful and tragic illustration of what's at stake when these systems fail.
It really is.